Hi, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Irene, and I've got Letty here with me.
Hi,
And
guys.
yeah, and it's another great day. Now, we really wish to talk about letting go, isn't it, Letty? Letting go, because from my experience, anyway, I don't know about Letty. From my experience, it's like it's really right in my face. Like, you gotta let go of this. You've had that for decades and it's been like your whole life, but it's really not serving me anymore. And I could see it quite clearly that, this thing that I've held on for a long time because I thought that it's actually part of me, that I thought it's actually normal. But now I'm being forced to actually see it and to assess, where does it belong in my life? And it's from material things. I've been like, since the last 2 days, because we're moving, I've been throwing away a lot of stuff and giving away a lot of clothes. I'm asking my whole family to do the same thing. And then my son came to me the other day and he said, wow, that was really good. He said, I felt lighter because he was
Mm.
holding on to like a lot of things from high school, from primary school, the yearbooks, all those, whatever it is, that you get from school. He's got them in boxes, and we've just been lugging them around every time we move. So he said, I feel lighter. And I was like, wow, you know me too, because I've let go. I've got a lot of clothes. I don't really use them. Most of them are given to me, by the way, by my very generous sister. So thank you. So I don't really have to buy anything, but I still do buy something. So there is a lightness to that. It's like travel light in this life,
Mhm.
because I think we're really not meant to be taking anything with us. We're really just meant to be experiencing stuff, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and Wayne Dyer talks about that when he did the last couple of books that he wrote, change like it was called The Shift. One of the books that he wrote about was called The Shift. And then also when he did the work with Anita Morjani, right, who had
Hmm.
Dying to Be Me, right? She wrote the book Dying to Be Me. And he talked about how he realized that at 75 years old or at 65 years old, he just woke up one day after studying the Tao, that he just didn't need all the things that he had. Apparently he had a condominium that was his office, and he had thousands of pictures, thousands of books, thousands of CDs and shoes and clothes. Like, he lived and worked there, right, in his condo. And one day after he finished the year long study of the Tao, he decided that he was going to simplify his life, and he didn't need all of it. And so he gave it all away. He locked the door and he gave the key to his assistant and said, just get rid of all of it. Just get rid of everything. And I think letting go of things also, because we have memories attached to things, right? We have memories of, oh, this was my first concert I ever went to. Look at, I still have the ticket. Or, oh, this is my first pair of glasses in third grade. Oh, how cute, right? We hold on to things because they have a memory, but that also keeps us in the past. And as we know, with our awakening, we are really meant to just keep moving forward from this present moment to the future moment, right? To whatever it is that awaits us. We don't know, right? Around the corner. And to stay in the now, right? You want to be in your present now. And when I moved to Mexico and was there for 3 years, I showed up to Mexico with 5 boxes to my whole name. And I had to go through things. I had to really purge a lot of things, and things that I thought I would never get rid of ever. And I gave away a lot of things that I really thought I needed, Christmas dishes and Thanksgiving platters and, Easter decorations and things that you pull out once a year. But it took up space. It was bulky, right? And I couldn't take that with me. And so I took what I felt at the time was important. And it's funny when we moved back here.
So were you
I let
awake that time, or were
No, I
you
was not. No,
aware
I was not awake. I think I was aware. I think I'd been waking up little by
slowly?
little over time, slowly. But when I moved back from Mexico, I left everything that I took there. I left it there. And so it's still there. It's in storage, right? And one of the next trips is let's go and get rid of it, right? It's just get rid of
Yeah.
all that stuff. But it just, I think letting go of things also helps you to let go of memories that just, what is, why do we keep going back to the past? That's really not where we need to be. We need to be in our present moment of now. And
Yeah.
letting go on every level too, even energetically, of people, situations, memories that don't serve us anymore, traumas, right? It's also the spirit of letting go, the energy of letting go on all levels. I think is really, really good for us.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that, with this letting go thing, I mean, it's very easy to say it, but it is actually quite challenging to actually put it into practice, to act on it.
Yeah.
And I know that we have been asked to act on it, know what you want, and then start something towards that goal that you want. But I think, I mean, including me, in the back of our minds, or maybe in the front of our minds, like we really want to move on. We really want to, like, I want to do this. I've had enough of this life. I don't want this life anymore. That is so depressing. That is so boring. That is just routine for me. We know we want to move on, but we can't. And most of the times we don't know why. I mean, that's for speaking for myself, right? So I don't know what, like, what's going on, what's wrong, what am I doing wrong? And I think I've just realized that recently, or starting to realize that the moving forward, if you were tethered to something heavily and with a thick rope, it's going to be very difficult to move forward. And these things that keep us there are material things, but also relationships are a really big thing. You see, like if you've got this relationship that it's not fun anymore, for example, right? It's not like, yeah, no, I've got a lot of judgment towards the other person or the other persons, or if it's like a group, if you belong to a group, for example. But you just don't want to be embarrassed, don't want to tell them, and don't want to say that, yeah, that's it for me. I want out of this relationship, or I want out of this group because I don't feel like I align with that anymore. I think that's very challenging for all of us to actually, I mean, for me to
Yeah.
actually do that. Not that, not that I want to get out quickly of a relationship, but you got to learn your lessons there. You got to learn. You can't just say, no, I don't want that anymore, but you haven't really understood why you don't want that anymore. I think it's very important to actually understand. So why don't I want this anymore? Why? What is it? What's. And most of the times it's actually because we're waking up to who we are. Yeah.
Well, and I think but also, we don't want to judge ourselves, and we don't want to make ourselves feel worse than we already do, right? We're in that confused kind of
Yeah.
state where we're not sure whether you want to come or go, or should I go or should I stay. And one of the things that I've learned, I think, in this process, this whole awakening process, is I ask for guidance. I always ask the Holy Spirit, help me to see this situation, this person, this group or whatever, through your eyes and not my own, because my lenses are fractured. My lenses have been cracked, right, through life and traumas and breakups and hurt feelings and just experiences, right, that left me a little jaded, right? There's that saying, you're a little jaded. Um, and so when I ask the Holy Spirit, like really, truly, just say, you know what? Help me to see this. Help me to see this through your eyes, not mine, because I know mine are pretty messed up, but through your eyes. And then I don't give myself a time frame. I never put limits. I try not to, because I like to, I'm a checklist person. I like to cross it off my list. It's always so gratifying when I get to put a line through what I needed to do. And so I've learned not to do that, because that's also limiting.
Mhm.
I'm putting a timeline on myself, right? So I just ask for that help, to help me see through the eyes of the Holy Spirit. And then I've also learned to kind of clean up what I'm saying to myself in terms of, I can't do that. I can't let this go. And I just say, right now, I'm choosing not to. It's softer. It feels easier on myself. Because it is a choice at the end of the day, right? We are choosing to stay. If I don't understand why I'm choosing, then that's part of, the clarification that we ask for. I think one thing I've realized is, with spirit and the work and shadow work, is you kind of have to be pretty specific, because the universe is the universe of absolute, right? It's just like with the law of attraction. If you just say, oh gosh, there's just no money, there's no money, there's no money, there's no money, it's feeling the energy of that. But if you say, oh man, I win everything, I always win stuff, it's so easy, it's so great, it's so wonderful, it's the same, it's energy. So rather than say to myself, oh, I can't do this, I just say, you know what, right now, obviously I'm choosing not to. I wonder why. And then I just leave it there. Because I think a lot of us, we are conditioned to feel guilty, right? Or to feel bad if we want to move out of a situation. Because, if they're not beating you and they're not drinking and they're not doing drugs, then what's the problem? Or why? Why do you want to not be with somebody or in that situation? And sometimes we don't have an explanation. We just know it doesn't align. And then we feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
So then we end up, it's a vicious circle, right? Don't you think it's kind of like you're on this merry-go-round, right?
Yeah. And we've been like that our generation, especially, we've been like that for decades. We've been going round and round and round and round we go, right?
Yeah.
I think it's because, the energies have not really supported like this awakening change.
Mhm.
But over the last, say, I don't know, maybe decade, or I think couple of decades, like, it is actually leading up to this ascension that we call, who knows what it is? It's just like, I think it's just awakening, pretty much, this ascension thing. It's like, when you ascend, you get to see a lot more, right?
Yeah.
So when you go up a ladder, you get to see a lot more. And I think to me, that's ascension. But I think we've just been going around in circles. But now it feels like, to me anyway, it feels like, there's a force, like I'm being forced to change, to look at this thing. Why is this happening? Why suddenly, why don't I want to do this thing anymore? And I just remembered, like few years ago now, I was like, my whole life of working, in the medical field. And suddenly I cut myself off it. It's just one day, it was just like that. But if I would have listened to my guidance prior to that, I would have done it slowly, and it would have been less painful. But sometimes we have to, for us to awaken, sometimes we have to go really deep down into the well, for us, like, hey, hello, I need help, because right there you're in that darkness already.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be like that. Spirit always says it doesn't have to be like that. You don't need to experience these really, really dark and difficult things in your life. Although, if you have been into these very dark times in your life, your rebound back into the light is much greater than if you didn't experience that, because then you see the extreme contrast. Like, you've seen the really, really dark part that you don't prefer.
Yeah, that you don't want.
Now it's like you really want the brightest because you've been in the dark.
Well, wouldn't you say that that's also kind of like I've said this to my daughter for years, and I remember hearing it from a very dear friend of mine. She said, there's two kinds of people in the world. There's those that rip the Band-Aid off one hair at a time. And it's like you pull and you go, oh no, and you're in the trauma.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, there I can. So there's two kinds of people in the world, right? Those that rip the Band-Aid off one hair at a time, and those that rip it off fast. And I think I used to be a one hair at a time type of Band-Aid person, right? Because I wanted to feel the feelings. I felt like I just needed to really get in there. And then I realized
Did
one
you
day, like,
did you really, or did you just feel like I don't want to be hurt too much?
I think there was probably a combination of things. I think
Yeah.
sometimes it's not that I wanted to consciously, but in my subconscious, maybe I felt that I deserved to feel the pain. Maybe I felt that this is how it is. It was a conditioning. Oh, well, I guess this is how it, of course you're going to cry forever and ever, right? You're going to suffer because we've been conditioned to think that that's what we have to do. But when I remember when I pivoted, I do remember when I pivoted and I thought, I'm just going to rip this off right now. And the awakening, it was like I literally just walked over a threshold. It wasn't as big of a, I didn't have the aha moment. I just felt better. And it was this nice little stretch in my back. Like I felt like I just cracked my neck or something, kind of, and then you just move on. And it felt, because I've had both instances, right? I used to be a one hair at a time kind of girl. And when I started to just let it go and just say, okay, this is it, new reality. Okay. Then I realized that I saw things, I saw myself differently. I could see myself faster. I could see my true nature.
Yeah.
It came up faster in that way.
Yes, because what I'm hearing from all of that is that there's really nothing wrong whether you want to do it slow or you want to do it
fast. Yeah.
Because the healed wound would still be the same.
Yes.
It's the timing of when you actually want to remove that Band-Aid. But also, if you're a person who wants to do it slowly, yes, of course, you're going to get to the end where you're going to see the healed wound, but it's just going to take time. Whereas if you want to let go of the fear of the pain and think to yourself, there is no pain. It's all a choice. This pain is all a choice. And you go, and you awaken quicker. Yeah. But we're all different. We are all different. And everything is really a choice. But, I'd rather choose to awaken quickly if I'm aware. If all of us are aware, was like, yeah, I've had enough of this one in an instant. Right. We're like, yeah, we're all awake, right? But it's like, like most of us would just
all
be
on
going
the same page.
at some stuff really slow, and then okay, well, I don't want to let go of that yet, because you feel you'd still need it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
well, and I think but you touched on something in terms of letting go of relationships, right? Friendships. Group ships, right? Marriages, coupling, whatever. I think somewhere we all have to, I think we forget, obviously we forget because we don't remember, but at a soul level, which is way up high, we knew we were just going to be a seasonal situation, right? Maybe a reason, a season, or a lifetime, like Ram Dass says, right? Ram Dass always talks about people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And you don't know what category they're going to fit in. But when, let's say it's a season could be 6 months, 6 years, 6 days, it doesn't matter. And, and I've seen several people go through that in this last year. 2023 has been kind of the season of that, right? That cleansing, letting go. And I think sometimes it's hard when you're not the one that makes the choice. And when it happens to you, you think, oh gosh, where have I gone wrong? But also if you are the one that makes the choice, the fear sometimes of letting go is, I don't want to be the bad guy. Right. So we're either afraid of getting hurt or we're afraid of being judged as the bad guy. And at the end of the day, who is your authentic? So who are you? You know, you're a child, you're a beloved child of God, you know, and nothing is, you can't, there is no error, right, in choosing again. It's
Yeah.
just part of the whole process. But
So
I think
just relax.
just relax, just relax and
Everything all is
just
well.
yeah. Well, because at the end of the day, it's not the form. It's really not the form. It's the outcome that creates the newness. It's that getting to this point, I think, however it is, however it happens for you. That's where you wake up and you go, oh wow, I am so brave. I never knew that about myself. Or,
Yeah.
hey, I'm pretty resilient.
Yeah, you
Okay.
wake up like that. It's like, wow, a whole new day. And then the next day you're like down again. Certainly it's happening to me, but because it's not like you wake up and everything is nice and rosy, right? No, unless you actually really heal your mind, that you see everything as God,
Mhm.
right? I mean, I haven't healed my mind like that, but that is one of the goals of this ascension is to be enlightened, to realize who we are. But it's just really the letting go of it is part of it. Relax about it, don't take it seriously. Don't take it
Well, it's all an
seriously.
illusion,
And
right?
listen to intuition, to your own guidance. Somebody else might tell you to do it like this, but if it doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. Just do whatever it is that you think is right for you. Whether other people will see you as crazy or as kind of loopy or like, no, she's not doing what we're all doing. We're like all ascending and, she's not doing it. But who knows? That's something that no one can really know what your path is except your soul. Your soul knows. Yeah.
Well, because I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes we don't even know what our path is. So if we don't
Because
have
we're not
clear,
realized yet. We
we're
haven't
not
seen
realized. Yeah,
ourselves. We haven't seen
right.
ourselves yet. And that's the main aim of this whole awakening thing, is
Mhm.
to be able to, see who we are. And like, oh my gosh, how stupid of me. I've been this idiot believing in
Yeah,
all of these things. Whereas in actual fact, everything is just a play.
yeah.
And that's why I was like suffering. I was in pain my whole life. I was poor. It's like I didn't have my abundance because I refused to see it. So
Mhm.
that is the purpose of all these. And we're all doing it. We're all wanting to go to the same place to see ourselves, but we're all doing it differently, in
Yeah,
different ways, and it's okay. It's
yeah,
okay. The main
yeah.
thing really is, I think, is, we have to become really aware to let go of stuff first, because then when you let go of something, then a new one comes in. And when a new one comes in, you have more awareness now of creating that
Mhm.
new one that you really want, not something else replacing the other one.
Right.
That's why we have been going through like relationships after relationships, and it's the same stuff, like, what we used to say, like, oh, you married your dad because you see something in your dad that you don't like, for example. I don't know if that's the case, but then you marry somebody who's got the same
Yeah, just
qualities
like
as
your
your
dad. Yeah,
dad, and then you separate, and then here you go again, the same. It's like
yeah.
different face, but the
Mhm.
same the same person, the
Same
same
person.
behavior,
Well,
like,
it's the
oh
same.
god.
You know what it is in my case, okay, I would say not necessarily the same behavior, but my reactions were the same.
Ah,
My go-to jacket, right? The coat I put on every single time was the same. And what was really interesting to me was I was the common denominator. in all of it.
Yeah.
And because I probably my soul was like, okay, we're going to have you marry very different people so that at some point you will realize that you keep pointing the finger, but they're wrong, they're wrong, they're wrong, but you've got 3 of them coming back at you. So this is where the work is, right? I know that now. But yeah, I German, Mexican, American. I mean, I couldn't have different ages, different everything, completely different people. But the common denominator wasn't so much that they were odd little bits of my dad. No, it was that my reaction, my need to control, my wanting to, be a pleaser, people pleaser, right? And just mold like a chameleon, oh, you like that? Okay, I like that. Well, I don't like that. I just be my authentic self. That didn't happen. So the common denominator, and that's for me anyway, was that I brought because I hadn't fixed this. There was no self-love there. Ding, ding. There was no understanding of me and acceptance of me. And I didn't hear my own voice, right? I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention. I was being what everyone else expected me to be, what I thought they wanted me to be, right? It was perfect and this, that. And oh my gosh, she's so cheerful and she's so jolly and she's so whatever, that I became everything everyone else wanted until I decided, no, I didn't. And that's, I have to say, that's interesting because my husband now, he gets he's getting the whole caboodle. Like, poor guy, he's getting this new awakened, I am woman, hear me roar, divine feminine. And I don't feel sorry for him because he chose this, but it's kind of, yeah, when you wake up to who you are, it's interesting. It's a completely different way of looking at things. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose we could also look at letting go of stuff, letting go of relationships that don't serve us anymore. It's just really letting go of control. So
and
really,
false beliefs.
Yeah. So don't want to believe that anymore. Don't want to control you anymore. Don't want to expect anything from you, because everything is perfect and their lives really not your life. So just pay attention to yourself. And I think it's a really good topic to talk about today, because I think that a lot of people are really experiencing the changes, like it's like massive emotions. We just had our eclipses, so it's gonna be like over the next few months. I think that's what it is. But if you believe in those things, if you don't, that's okay. Well, I do. So to me,
well, you're still gonna feel the energy though.
Yeah, to me, it's like part of the guidance that I want. Everything else, I will have to decide for myself whether it resonates with me or not. So, yeah. So I think it's good to talk about it, Letty, because I'm going through that. You probably are.
Yeah.
And so, it's just sharing, really. So what's happening with everyone watching as well is, you can share if you want, and we're all in this together.
We are. And I think that's also, you just hit the nail on the head, in the sense that letting go also is this, bringing it out, not holding it in, letting go of the belief system that, oh no, I can't say nothing. I've got to be quiet. I got to be nice. I got to be perfect. I got to be, what are people going to say? Letting go of that fear of what people think or what they say or what they're going to decide about you. That's part of it. That's the most important part of it, I think, is having the courage, letting go of fear and letting in courage, right? Letting go of self-judgment and letting in that feeling of being brave and honest and open. That is the most important part of letting go, is having these kinds of conversations with like-minded people, with people that are going to look at you and go, oh my gosh, you know what? I totally resonate with you. Man, it's been hard, and a lot of us who are awake, consciously awake, we're noticing that, wow, okay, I'm walking to this certain kind of heat, and everybody else is like, do, 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 it's a different rhythm, and our rhythms are off. And you just notice it all of a sudden. You're like, wow, okay, that's interesting. I love them where they're at, right? But I don't know if we can do this. It's in discordance. It's not, they're doing this and you're doing this, right? It just completely, it doesn't match. And letting go of trying to get them to do what you're doing, or say, you know what, don't control me. I'm not going to do that. Having the courage to say no. It's okay. You want to jump up and down? That's fine. I just want to do it. I want to sashay. I want to go this way. Then, but it's also okay for them to tell you, hey, you want to sashay. I want to jump up and down. Because that's happening too, is some of the people we're in relationship with are saying, you know what, you've changed. You're different. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. And I'm going to move on. And then, as an awakened person, we have to understand that sometimes they're the ones also making those choices, right? I think because we all are, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
We're all feeling.
We are on this journey of awakening.
Yeah.
But we all take different paths towards awakening. So I think it's just respecting the other's path.
Yeah.
And stay on your lane. That's what it means, right?
That's exactly
Good
what it
reminder.
means. I'm going to get some of those blinders that the horses that they put on the horses with them at the race, the little, stay focused, stay in your lane, stay focused in yourself. And that's it. Don't worry about everything else.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Lightworkers 5.0 for you on letting go. So one thing I would like to ask you is, hit the bell. Please hit the bell. That is something that we can't let go of, that little housekeeping item.
I was gonna say, don't let go of us.
Yeah, don't let go of us. Yeah.
No, just
just
being light about it.
Yeah, that's true, right? We have to, but please. And if this message resonates with you and you want to share this with someone who's also been having these kind of experiences and these feelings and these emotions coming up and questions, about how do I do that, then point them in our direction. Irene and I both work with people offline. Just put in a message here and we will get back to you as soon as possible. But thank you so much for supporting our channel. We are Irene and Letty, Lightworkers 5.0, and we wish you nothing but the best.